Chapter 8 Shiraishi Construction. The frosted sea of February, a chilling, bone-piercing wind. The occasional rustle of the pine groves in the wind, the peaceful timbre of the sea roar. Hey, this is about all we've got. I handed her a towel that said Shiraishi Construction on it. The one we used way earlier to sponge ourselves off. Oh, come on. Don't make such a face. Okay. She accepted the towel with slight disappointment. Out of the blue, she'd said that she wanted a swimsuit. But that presented another problem in and of itself. Because she wanted it here and now, and a bikini on top of that. Having no other course of action, I'd rummaged through the car, but I never found anything other than that white towel. And after I waited a while, a little while, she came into view, wearing her favorite skirt, with that towel wrapped around her breasts. How do I look? Well, even if you ask me that, do I look weird? Well, probably you do. No, I meant you look completely fine. You don't look weird at all. Okay. And then she slowly started walking about the beach. The breaking and ebbing waves, her long hair grew wafted in the cold breeze. As if the sky wanted to spite us, it was beginning to snow little by little. And amidst all of that, she was holding her shoes in her hand and walking at the water's edge, exultantly, as if she was flying with every step. Hey, does it look about right? Yeah, I guess. Both of our breaths frosted white in the midwinter cold, and I brought out the disposable camera that had been in the car. That old camera from before. One more picture left. Alright, I'm going to take your picture. What? See, it'll be even more, right this way. Saying this, I pointed the camera toward her. Come on, don't get shy on me now, okay? Okay. The beach. The girl, now in the viewfinder of the camera. Whether it was because she was tense or bashful, she had a facial expression that was far more complex than usual. Oh, come now. Won't you strike some kind of pose? But no ifs and no ifs or buts now. Come on. No bikini model stands stock still like that. Okay. Looking a little bit awkward, but still trying with all her heart, she bashfully lowered one hand to her hip and stretched out the other, one high overhead. That arm stretched forth toward the clear winter sky, as if it were grasping for something, as if it were reaching out for something, was being held straight up into the heavens, with the emerald sea as its backdrop. Okay. Then one last thing. Smile. What? Smile for me. Satsumi. What's up with that? You're younger than me. And saying this, she smiled for me for the first time. That girl, clad in her favorite skirt and that white towel, smiled for the final shot that camera had, smiled with the emerald sea as her backdrop, smiled as if she were an honest-to-God bikini model. Alright, then next, shall we try something more of an action pose? Okay. Happily, exuberantly, she splashed around in the water, and even though the camera was now utterly exhausted, I kept photographing her figure. Hey, it looks like you've really gotten into the spirit of things. But that's not it at all. Our cheerful dialogue, the snow falling harder and harder as if in spite, and in the mist, the girl, smiling brilliantly in a viewfinder of the spent camera, continuing to remember to smile for me, even as her little body was battered at by the winds. Well then, yeah, so I guess it's time. Yeah. And with that word, she began walking toward the sea, just like last time. Oh right, your license. No, you keep that in commemoration. Okay, got it. With a nod, she put it in her pocket. That was the license that I'd given her. There was one that I should never have had the chance to use. And then she unfastened that white vinyl ID bracelet that had been wrapped around her wrist and presented it to me. Are you giving this to me? Yes, I am. I see. In that case, I'll keep it in commemoration. I stuffed that bracelet, whose twin hung on my wrist, into my pocket. and then to the girl who was walking once more toward the sea, toward her retreating figure, I said my last words. Hey, can I ask you one last question? Sure. Do you want to be stopped right now? Or do you want to be pushed toward the sea? She stopped for a moment, the waves lapping at her feet. Her back remained to the last, turned toward me. A strong wind brought in a rolling wave, which crashed against her with chilly fury. And when she at last turned toward me, that's a good question. I really don't know. As she said this, she smiled for me one last time. Even as the cold waves battered at her, even with tears streaming down her face, she still smiled for me. The last time around, she had stopped at this. But this time, there was no turning back. That's why I think she answered that way. Well then, farewell. In this manner did our voyage of 960 odd kilometers come to its conclusion. My voyage of 15 days and her voyage of 22 years finally had an end. She who succeeded in perishing, not on 7F or at home. She who was one of 35,000 odd people to suicide in 2005. Blood type O. Name Satsumi. Age 22, sex female. Color of ID bracelet white. That was all that was recorded of her. But I knew better. The truth was, she loved bikinis, was better at navigation than any computer, loved cars, even held a driver's license. She was usually expressionless and would not meet your face. But every so often, she would grace you with a bashful, sour-seeming expression. And with the Emerald Sea as her backdrop, she smiled for me, as if she were flying, as if she were delighted, as if she were an honest-to-God bikini model. Yet somehow, there was only a single record of her smile captured in this cheap throwaway camera. Even so, even if it was just one picture, it was proof that we lived. Hello guys, it's Charjr Ryuki here. I want to thank you guys for watching and listening to this story to a final end in chapter 8. When it comes to music like this, it really hits you in the feels, especially with this story And even if there were some laughs, this story, Narcissu First, was truly an emotional one. January 2005 was Satsumi on a blindingly bright day, on that very day of winter. It's such a beautiful picture. It really is. They do look like a couple there. This story is so well done. And it continues in Narcissu Second, and I plan on doing that. Right now, I am not recording this with a headset. I am not using a webcam mic to record this. I am using an actual mic. So if you hear more things than usual, that's because this mic is actually quite sensitive. So I'm actually close to the mic, so that would mean that I might sound a little louder than, having it sitting on the table. But during this final chapter and these other chapters, I literally, when it came to scenes like this, these moments like this, I had to try not to tear up because it's such an emotional story. And thinking back to the other chapters from chapter 1 to now, it brings these emotions back. So there was a point while reading this that I had to move the mic away or turn away before coming back because of the emotions that were going through me while reading this. And this story should be well read. And when it comes to suicide, I know it's a topic that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but it's a choice that you shouldn't make. You shouldn't make that choice at all. But yet with a choice like what Satsumi had done, what would have happened, she would have had two choices to live her final days. And she chose to travel with a stranger who had the same illness as her, who was younger than her. And the choice that she came to, because she really didn't want to pass on anywhere, but that moment seemed to be the right time for her to make that final choice, and she did. She made that choice. And some people might fault her for that, or fault anyone for that, but yet I don't. And it's kind of hard to explain why, but it was either on the 7th floor in the hospital, where basically not a whole lot of people cared, or pass on in her family's home, where people would just carry on like normally with fake smiles and act nonchalantly whether they care or not. She didn't want to go through that. She chose to live her final days with someone she hardly ever knew, and it turned out to be one heck of a journey for both of them, to where she finally made that tough choice. And I know that a lot of people go through things such as depression or other circumstances that might push them to this choice. But let me tell you guys something. If you think, even for a second, that no one gives a damn, you're wrong. Excuse me. The music is getting to me. No, I got something in my eye. If you think no one gives a damn, you're wrong. Because there's people who do, who would be willing to reach out to you and say, hey, I got you. I'm here for you. And damn it, I care. So don't you dare do what you think about doing. There's always a good friend, a family member. Heck, it could be someone you didn't know who can see, who knows what you've been through, and be willing to sit there and listen to you and talk to you. You just gotta be willing to listen, willing to take their hand and say, I need help. Will you listen to my story? I am Charjr Ryuki. I thank you guys for watching, for listening to the story, and I hope I keep finding stories like this, because this is good. This really hits you in the feels, you know? So leave a like, a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.